get everything right. But right now, you know, we've got a couple extra empty seats over here if people don't have their seats. Welcome to Rotary. My name is Mike Ballard. I am the 99th president of the Greater Las Vegas Rotary Club, founded in 1923, and I'm excited to be here. I hope you are too.
Greatest Rotary Club in the universe.
In the universe, that is correct. That is correct. Okay, just a quick note, our speaker has to leave early, so we're going to do the announcements after the presentation, just so you're aware. And with that, I'm going to turn the time. Kathy, I think you're going to give us our invocation. I've asked her to give a traditional Jewish invocation. And then our song leader is Jamie Goldsmith. Jamie, if you can come on up.
This week we're doing the blessing over bread, which covers the meal basically, except dessert or wine. And we're not having wine for lunch, so we're okay. Anyway, it turns out it's a very, very old prayer. And the bread is supposed to only be made from wheat, rye, oats, I think barley and millet or something. Very odd, but I'm sure ours qualifies. Anyway, it's Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, and hamotzi means bread, of course. And it's praise be thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who created the gift of bread. And so it's a very short blessing, and I think Lauer's bread is good enough to deserve it.
Okay, so I picked a song today that we haven't sang in a really long time, and I would like to dedicate it to the Wetzel Award Committee. So I've left a little cheat sheet on your table, and we will sing the Air Force song. Up we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Down we dive, spouting our flames from under, up with give them the gun. Sorry. We dive, spouting our flame from under, up with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
Hoorah!
Thank you.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to go through a few things real quick. I want to thank those members of our club that have helped us put today's meeting on. Setup and greeters. We're Eris Lazarou and Nancy Anderson and Eris. If I pronounced your name wrong, I'm sorry. I have our Sergeant of Arms is Michael Mewborn. Our raffle ticket sales is our lovely Tony Kern. Teardown afterwards will be Barbara Casto. Thank you, Barbara. I'm sure she could use some help. Our song leader, as you saw, was Jamie Goldsmith. Our photographer today is Jim Tucker, as usual. Yay, Jim. And our scribe is Susan. Is that correct? Susan Ziobro. Please help me thank those who have made today possible. Okay, we have our Sergeant of Arms. Michael, are you ready? We've got a few people we need to introduce. Do we have any visitors, international visitors, Bob Werner? Okay, Bob's going to come up front, he says.
It's my pleasure to introduce today Paul Maffey. I think you need to come up too. Our J.A. Traverti Scholarship recipient, Cruz Luna, excellent mechanical engineer going to UNLV. And Paul Maffey, myself, we're in charge of that J.A. Traverti Scholarship every year. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you Cruz Luna, and he's going to.
I'm gonna read my letter that I got when I was awarded this scholarship.
Which you didn't get because of the pandemic. I just got it.
First, I want to thank you for the wonderful opportunity this scholarship gives me. I am beyond thankful, and I have never been more motivated in my academic career. Secondly, my name is Cruz Luna. I'm a mechanical engineer student at UNLV with a minor in computer science. My career goal is to become a machine learning engineer because this field will allow me to continue my passion for learning. Ultimately, as a student, I'm extremely dedicated to my studies because of this passion to learn. This scholarship is so critical to my education because it lessens some of the financial stresses and lets me focus on my schooling. During this time of the pandemic, my family has been affected negatively, and the scholarship will help us all get through it a little bit easier. I want to say it again. I'm very thankful for the scholarship, and I see it as an opportunity to push me even harder in school.
Thank you very much. We're so pleased to have him.
Congratulations. Okay, introduction. Do we have any visiting Rotarians? Visiting Rotarians? We have one over here, Michael. Richard.
Thank you, President Mike. As you know, Rotary has a strong interest in helping refugees, and it's my pleasure to introduce two refugees here today from the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics of California, David and Walter, Michael, I'm sorry, the president of the Summerlin Rotary Club, who both are refugees from California.
Got it. Any other visiting Rotarians? Oh, yeah.
Just 1 second, Michael. I'd like to give you a pin. We're commemorating, I know you're going to do your 100th anniversary next year. We're commemorating our 25th anniversary this year.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Okay. Put that right here. We have a guest of Rotarians. We have over here.
Hi, I want to introduce David Jones. He is a potential member and friend of Mike Ballard's.
Don't hold that against him. Got it. Any other guests? We have more. Yes.
Hi, it's my pleasure to introduce Paran Habashi. She is a private wealth advisor with U.S. Bank, and she's looking to join.
Great.
So,
Welcome.
do you want to say anything? Or?
Well, this is lovely, and the salad was great. Thanks.
Great.
And the entree will be even better.
Any other visiting or visitors or guests? Great. Thank you very much. We have a birthday table. We have a few people at the birthday table. Michael, why don't you bring the microphone over to Susan and Jim Cole?
Yes, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Hey, congratulations. Where were you born?
I was born in Skagit County, Washington, and that's about 63 miles north of Seattle and about an equal distance south of Vancouver, BC.
Great.
President Mike and fellow Rotarians, Jim Cole joined this club when Jim Tucker was kind enough to sponsor me, so you have him to thank for the infliction of me in the club. And I really enjoyed it. Very, very happy to be a member of this club. It's one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life. So thank you all for having me.
Super. And where were you born and how long ago?
Born and raised in the suburbs of Philadelphia in 1965. So I got here in 95, and this is home for me now. I've lived here the longest of any time I've ever lived anywhere. So
great. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you.
Preseason, the Eagles are ranked number 31 in the NFL right now.
Okay. So I am now going to turn the time over to Rick. Oh, strike two. Okay. Well, let's sing happy birthday. Why don't you give Karen the microphone and she'll start us off if that's okay.
Can I just have the fine instead?
Go ahead.
Okay, fellow Rotarians, please join me in wishing happy birthday to the table. Happy birthday.
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
Well
Mr.
played,
Robledo.
Madame.
Okay. We've asked Rich Robledo to do our introduction today. And with that, I'll turn it over to him.
Welcome to the Las Vegas Rotary Club. I have been told by 4 people to keep this short. So on that note, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you today a dynamic young man, Aldo Martinez. He is the current president of the Las Vegas Realtors. Aldo is a native of Cuba, arrived in Las Vegas when he was 5, attended basic high school, and then spent 22 years in the U.S. Army as an air traffic controller and rose to the rank of Master Sergeant. He received his associate's degree from Vincennes University and recently got his BS from the University of Phoenix. Aldo started his real estate career in 1993 with the Americana Group of Better Homes and Gardens and is today the managing broker at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and oversees 200 plus agents at the Southwest branch. Aldo will tell us about the red hot real estate market and new trends here in Las Vegas. And I hope you guys enjoy this speech today. And what I really wanted to say, Aldo, come on up.
So he didn't read the part that it was either the military or jail. So is there a clicker? Oh, he's doing that. So what I actually put together for you guys today, and I hope that it's worthy of your invitation. I did a presentation for NARPM, which is the National Association of Real Estate Property Managers, in reference to what's going on with rental properties in the valley, because that's been a big concern, and especially for homeowners that basically use these properties for making their mortgage payments as income producing properties for the retirement years and things of that nature. And then I surmised what's going to happen because a lot of them are trying to get rid of the rental properties. And I thought that might not be the way to go based on the direction that the market's going. I'm also going to be delivering to you the latest July stats. So you'll be receiving them even before the media. So I just ripped them right out of my computer before coming over here. So we're reaching new highs again in Las Vegas, which is either good or it's bad, depending on where you sit on the pendulum for this one. But there we go. Am I clicking away yet? There we go. So what's driving some of this growth right now, and why is so many properties being bought for cash? There's about 53% of the residential real estate properties on the market are being purchased at a cash property. A single family, many institutional investors have jumped in. I'm sorry. Can you walk away here? I'll twist it this way so I can look at some of the things that we're talking about. So we have institutional investors that are actually scooping up the market, and they're buying anywhere from, in some cases, 100 to 400 properties per month to basically turn into residential rental properties. But it's not just institutional investors that are doing this, and Wall Street's been loaning out pools of 300 million to what they call small investors. And at first I kind of like smirked at, yeah, 300 million is a small investor, but when you thought about it, based on the median price of the properties that they're actually trying to purchase, you know, they're $320,000. They're buying everything from $250 to $425. And when you look at that, well, that means maybe 100 properties. So that could be a small investor in that particular category. So one of those experiments it's on. Hey, it's great to know that technology works the same no matter where we're at. Yeah, it's on. And that's the button. How about this? I'll just go like this and we'll click, 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 click. And there's going to be some rapid clicking in certain areas. All right, so what's causing this shift? And really what's actually causing this shift is that in 2010, we're sitting at a population base of about 900,000 in Las Vegas. By 2021, we've reached 2,347,000. And this is what's attributing to the escalation in real estate prices. So based on that number right there, that means that we grew by almost 400,000 residents. And based on a 2.6 average persons per household, we should have been able to have developed about 152,000 residential properties. Now we've got two sides of the equation running on this. We have the apartment lobby and the commercial construction for multifamily properties that are being built. And then you have the single family home builders that are building real estate. First, we're going to look at the development through what we call property managers. So in order to meet that 152,000 additional residential units, the US Census broke it down and basically told us that 57% of all homeowners are actually, or 57% of households are owner-occupied properties. The other 43% become residential rental properties in the marketplace. So we needed 65,000 rentals and we needed 86,000 single-family residential properties. There's where we basically looked at what actually got developed and built. Now, this was put out by CoStar in this presentation. So from 2020 or 2010 to 2021, we basically covered about, give me my next slide, 20,000 units out of that 65,000 delta that they needed to overcome. So 44,000 still remain in construction, and as one of their latest reports showed, they're only building right now through the end of this year another 3,800 units. So 15 properties are being constructed that will equate to 3,800 multifamily properties throughout the valley with an average of about 255 units. Now, you're looking at these numbers here because this is what the median rents by zip codes are actually demanding. You're seeing some of the higher numbers, obviously in the Summerlin and the Henderson area, with the highest rental average income coming in at $1,500 in 89052 right now. Market rents per unit in bedrooms, they're somewhere in the neighborhood of almost $1,695 for a 3-bedroom unit. 2-bedroom units are renting somewhere in the 12, 30 range, and so on and so forth. But that was an interesting stat to basically look at. So what are they getting for it? And then the more important thing when you're investing your money is what's the capitalization rate for me? So what's my return on my investment? And right now, the commercial industry is looking at a return of about 4.4%. That's what they're basically driving their business at. The green line becomes the Las Vegas. The blue line becomes 4-star, but anywhere between 4.4 to 4.6, almost 4.7%. Single family median close prices. So this is what the rentals are closing at. So rental units are basically closing from this is going back from 2013 being the number represented by 1 and 2021, the number represented under 9. We went from almost $1,100 a month on average for a residential rental all the way up to $1,695. What does that property represent? And the price per square foot is obviously just a shy under $1.08. So this is what those properties represent. The median of all properties rented out there is between 1,500 and 1,600 square foot. The median price of those properties right now is running 320,000, which it's understandable why they're going after the 225 to 425,000 market. The price per square foot on these units is running at about $206 a square foot, and it's giving a capitalization rate just slightly above what the commercial industry is receiving, about 4.73, with modest expenses in there. Go ahead and click right through there until we get to the top. This is what caused the shortage as far as residential rentals. So if you look at January 1, 2013, we were actually leasing out 36,000 residential units from a single family residential standpoint. Those are residential homes that consumers purchase and are putting on the market to rent through the Association of Realtors. By January, back me up once. By January of 2021 to present, we are now only renting out, and this is a forecast number, so from up to July was 12,000, we're forecasting 21,000 units. So that we basically reduced the inventory of rental properties by 15,000, where we needed to raise it by almost 65,000. That's the slide showing the decrease, and the delta being 15,531. Go ahead and move right through there. And this is what's been happening to the lease prices to let us know. In days on markets, if you have a rental property out there, there's a new phenomenon that's going on in the marketplace. It's called bidding for rentals. So just like they're bidding to purchase homes right now, they're also bidding to get the rental properties that are coming to the market. So you might put a property on the market for $1,500, and you'll have a consumer saying, look, I'll pay you $1,650 for that unit if I can have it. And here's 3 months security to make sure that I'm going to make my payments on it. Go ahead. Go ahead one more time. So how are we making up the additional shortage that's out there? And what caused the shortage in real estate? Because they say that there's no supply, but we're going to probably bring more homes to market for sale this year than we actually did since 2011. And 2011 was the rock bottom of the recession in Las Vegas, and that's when the prices started ticking up and people were buying heavy. Now you look, I'm sorry, just one more time on the slide previously. If you look at there, we were actually at the height of our market. The builders were able to put up 38,000 homes a year, right? So from 0 to 4, they were building at 20 to 25,000, but when they really got their wheels rolling, they started developing 38,000 homes per year. And then you look after the recession, from 11 on, that construction phase has been ramping up extremely slowly. So what that actually has created is that we needed 86,000 units. They were only able to build 75,000 during that period. And it brings a shortage of 11,000, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you think about 11,000 homes that you're trying to find, plus we are growing in population by about 40,000 a year, that's an additional 15,000 homes that need to come in while you're trying to make up that shortage. Go ahead and hit me. This is where we're going, and this is what I looked at. So what's the growth of the valley? The growth is still ramping over the last 3 years at about 40,000. We need 11,000 units to make up that growth, but we're also going to have to make up the 15,000 based on the population growth that's coming in. And not all single-family residential units are owner-occupied, as we now see. They're going into the rental market to satisfy the rental need. Why is this big dive to the rental market? Here's what what Wall Street believes. Wall Street basically believes, based on the ability of our construction to basically ramp up, that once we hit 415,000 as a median sales price in this valley, and if you hit the next slide, you're going to see how close we are. One more forward, please. In June, we were at 395. Okay, 395,000 is the median price for a residential unit, and we sold 3,543 of those. Click through. Clicking through these aren't going to be as important as the questions. This is the numbers as of this morning. So single family residential sales, we sold 3,300, so about the same pace. but the median price now is $405,000, and it's been jumping at $10,000 a click for the last 4 months consecutively. And if it continues to go this way, next month will be 415. The month after that will be 425. And what that basically means, with a median income of $95,000 for a family of two in this valley, for annual income, once it reaches 425, with modest bills, they won't be able to afford purchasing a home. And that's where Wall Street and smart money is putting their money, is that they can't purchase a home, and their only option for ownership is going to be through the rental marketplace. So this valley is our family. You guys have a lot of ears out there that you can get in front of. We keep hearing every time that we speak to the Builders Association, what's the impediments, and they keep giving us the 9 L's to their impediments, which is lumber and labor and land. And if you really research the land that they own, they got more land that they can develop for the next 50 to 75 years. Questions, if I can answer any at this time? Or did I just scare you? Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. A supply question. Is there a reason or data that you know of that supports why this last summer there's been 3,000 to 4,000 less homes listed for sale than our normal average? Because usually it's between 9 and 10,000, and it's been tracking around 6, 7. Is there anything that supports that?
So you're talking about residential rentals?
No. Just residential, just anything that's listed on the MLS.
Listings. We've been listing, actually, we're listing more homes. And that was one of the slides that I was showing. We're actually listing, bringing to market more homes than we have since 2011. So we're going to actually reach a new high in number of properties that we're going to be bringing to the marketplace this year. So, and the only thing that because I sit with the media, and they basically talked about the market actually pumping the brakes, but there was no pumping the brakes. It's just a natural curve that happens in this valley almost every year, right around June timeframe, when the kids get let out of school. You know, families go on vacation and spend some more time, and residential sales basically dip just a little bit, and then it picks right up immediately after that. And that's what you're seeing right again in June and July. The sales start picking up all over.
Two questions here. First is how does the market going to be affected when all of those landlords can start actually collecting rent? When's the market going to realize that that cash hasn't been paid? And how's that going to affect things so that the people who are looking to actually rent don't have these kind of false price points because landlords can't get tenants out of their home that maybe haven't paid for months and months and months? How do you see that affecting the marketplace when obviously that's kind of a hot contention right now?
So it's a concern for the Association of Realtors at the local level and at the state level. Fortunately, there are states that are closer to the 9th district to actually battle that particular argument, and they've actually launched lawsuits already as of this morning to basically go back to the Supreme Court and says, how can the CDC pass the rule that you've already said is illegal without new legislation being brought in? Now, except for those people that are actually paying the price for this right now, the number of those that are non-paying is rather small in nature in comparison to those that are paying. But it's just the ones that aren't receiving the money and not able to do the foreclosures that are pounding on the doors and basically letting their voices heard. And we thought we had every solution done. The governor had given us our word that there was not going to be any more moratoriums, and can't fight the feds.
Yep. Yeah. And then in looking at it now, what's the national mortgage foreclosure rate? Meaning out of all the percentage of homes of those mortgages that are on the market right now, how many of those people are losing their homes, foreclosing it, meaning they're not going to have a chance to recover where the pandemic put it? I was hearing a national average.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you...
So everybody keeps talking about the shadow inventory that's out there. That number is less than 0.5% on the foreclosures. You're looking at notice of defaults, which are being filed. Those numbers are down tremendously as well. When you look at it from this perspective, the the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, CFPB, basically rewrote Regulation X in April, letting all the financial institutions that are out there know that you can take a property straight from forbearance right now and put it straight into loan modification the very next day. So there's no waiting period. They were given specific instructions within those rulings that basically they cannot increase their payment by $1. They can't increase their interest by 1 penny. So they're going to need to tack it on to the end. What they're doing is extending the loan to keep people in their homes. You know better than I do. You don't foreclose on equity. You foreclose on debt. And right now, there's so much equity in most of these properties. Even if the people were, let's say, going to give it up, and their payments with the interest rates that are at right now, their mortgage payments are less than what they're basically renting properties. If you priced out apartment complexes, rents on apartment complexes are up in $1,800 right now, and they're jacking them up. It's like people are getting notices when their leases are expiring that their rents are going to be going up $200 and $300. So we don't see there's no stat out there whatsoever that we can find that we're going to see this flood or tsunami of foreclosures. We're going to see what we normally see.
Oh, hi.
Sorry.
Hi, Aldo.
Nancy.
My question is, and this is a concern for the entire valley, is especially in the Clark County area, is the water issue. And as we grow, we can seem to have more and more issue with this. Same within the renting market as well as the purchasing market. So have you heard or anything that's going to correct that?
God, I
Or
think
else make it easier on us?
It was 2 years ago that actually that we met with the Southern Nevada Water Authority, and they had a really great plan. And that's where they built that new pipe to be able to get water from even lower in the lake. But I got to realize the dramatic effect of that lake just about a month and a half ago. I went out to the lake to go boating with my wife and her girlfriend, and we could only launch from Hemingway Harbor because everything else was closed. And I go, man, this is not going to be fun coming back in. And my wife hadn't been out the lake too much with me. It took me an hour and a half to get her off the water after we came in. Now, how can we solve for this? California is not going to give up any acre feet of water. I mean, we have to do a better job of negotiating with our neighboring states that we supply this, because every year California dumps, hundreds of acre feet of water into the ocean, where we could be banking that water for them for a rainy day. It's just negotiation, and nobody wants to give up their water proportion for the simple fact that they feel like that creates a history of not needing it. So I don't know how to. I mean, our water appropriations, I think they said was actually written back in the 1940s. So I mean, if I've been here in Vegas since 1969, the population was 150,000. So I mean, I can imagine, maybe the 30,000 back in those days.
Hi. So I guess my question is what you were talking about, or the last question that was asked. So there's nothing that can happen, like these apartment complexes, they can just keep raising people's rent, and there's just like no cap, because that's actually happening to me. When my lease is up, it's gonna be like $200. I'm renting a 1-bedroom small little apartment for $1,100, and they said once it's up, it's gonna be $1,300. I'm a single mom of 2, so it's like, how are we supposed to keep paying those ridiculous amounts? And there's just like no cap. There's like nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, the city of Henderson, city of Las Vegas, and North Las Vegas are trying to work out some affordable housing initiatives to basically look at that. But at the end of the day, I mean, we live in a capitalist society, and this is what happens. One of the things that everybody would, I mean, if you talk to anybody, nobody wants rent restrictions, right? I mean, they've seen that happening in California, and a lot of those legislative agendas are actually moving to Nevada little by little. But I feel for you 1,000,000%, because I remember when me and my wife first got married in '88 and renting our own first apartment. I mean, Like we paid $745, and back then that seemed like a lot of money too. I don't, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we can talk till we're blue in the face. They've got to have, at least what they are doing right now is there are vouchers to help with those people that need assistance. Fortunately, Clark County basically put in a code ordinance that you cannot discriminate source of income. So that's been able to help a little bit, where no longer can they discriminate based on, well, we don't take Section 8 or this and that. The source of income is protected, and that's whether it's retirement pay or social services.
Aldo, could you talk about the impact of the 1031 law changes and the impact on our real estate market?
I wish I was completely privy to that. I just know that at the national level, there isn't a day that I'm not looking at an email that comes in briefing us on the fact that they are doing everything in their power to ensure, and they feel that they got a good foothold, that that's not going to go away. And it's because, finally we've been able to prove to them that it's not just the uber wealthy that use 1031 exchange. It's just common everyday people. We all basically use it if we have rental properties or we have investment properties or anything like that. We're just basically trying to kick that, that can down the road as far as we can, so we live it to our children or the day that we actually need the money.
One of the problems that we seem to have is there's not a whole lot of land in the valley anymore to build on for new construction. Now, is there a possibility that the BLM is going to divest themselves of some of that land, make it available to build on in the future?
So I don't have an ear to the Bureau of Land Management, but as land needs, we've got lots of land. I mean, you just drive around the city and even the state of Nevada, land is not our problem. And if you look into the tax records, which I did a few months ago when the Builders Association was telling me that land was an issue, I thought I would see Howard Hughes Corporation as the biggest landowner. They're not even in the game as far as the landowner. You've got builders out there that can't build what they've got in the next 50 years if they tried to.
So I'm in the apartment space. As you talk about land, one of the differences related to the questions that we've had related to prices is, I was just looking at a parcel yesterday that I think about 3-4 years ago was about 300,000 an acre, and now it's 900,000 an acre. And that for a developer makes it a little more difficult to be able to build new product. And I think the biggest issue, you hit it right on the head, was we just have a huge supply issue. As soon as we catch up those 25,000 units, a lot of our rents will stabilize. We won't see these, 6 and 9 and 12% increases annually. But it's just a supply issue.
Yeah, it's a total supply issue. And if you think about it, their capitalization rate at 4.475, for commercial apartment space, that's not a big cap rate. When you're talking about developing and the money that you're investing into it and the time and the energy and stuff like that. So there's no incentive to basically increase the supply, because by doing so, that's going to diminish that capitalization rate even more. And they're not in the business of losing money, right? So it's just common sense.
I was just wondering, on the house and rental side of things, has anyone been considering desalination plants in Mexico or something, so we have more water that we can use for, expanding our community? Because if we have land, what we lack is water.
The Southern Nevada Water Authority, they've even had conversations, and there's a pipeline that, if I'm not mistaken, that they had spoken of 2 years in the works. It's from Northern Nevada, bringing water into Southern Nevada. So they've done an amazing job being able to meet those needs. I mean, we are the #1 city in the world, at least from when they did their presentation, in water conservation. So, this is something that every citizen in Las Vegas and Clark County has done a great job doing. Guys, I really appreciate you giving me of your time today, and I hope the presentation was worthy of your invitation, and thank you so much.
We have, although, number one, we're very appreciative of your time today. And we still have a meal that'll be brought out in just a second for you. But we have a certificate that we're giving. We donate a pair of shoes to children in 6 schools in our local community in underprivileged areas in your name. So we'll do that in your name. We also have in Rotary, we have the 4-way test that guides our conduct. And so it's got the 4 questions on here. This is our Rotary coin. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay. We got one more picture.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Great. We're now going to cover some announcements. Real quick, related to next week, our speaker is Vernon Fox. He's going to talk about the 3 Ps of success. He's a former NFL safety, and he's a football coach at Faith Lutheran, and he's a professional public speaker as well. So that's our speaker next week. We have, I'm going to do the drawing in just a little while, not quite yet. Bob, you've already talked about the Traverse Scholar, and our foundation continues to grow. We've got a matching grant. We're collecting money every week. It's kind of awesome to see that. We appreciate that. Anything you want to contribute, we truly appreciate. Jamie Goldsmith has an announcement. Michael, can you bring the microphone to her?
Hi, everyone. Oh gosh. My name is Jamie Goldsmith, and I am the president of the SOAR committee. That is the Safety Officer Award Recognition Ceremony that is funded by the Rotary Clubs of Southern Nevada. Every year, each club donates $150. Our upcoming ceremony will be held at Las Vegas City Hall in the City Council chambers on September 13th at 8 a.m. We will host a networking breakfast from 8 to 8:45, and the ceremony will begin at 9 a.m. with the presentation of the colors by the Department of Public Safety's Honor Guard. Mayor Goodman is scheduled to do the opening remarks, and District Governor Betsy Berry will share her Rotary moment, and we will be awarding 18 different departments. This is our 21st annual ceremony.
Wow.
The majority of the committee is from this club, so we have a lot of support with Tony and Dr. Kathy and Janice and Renee.
Again? What's the date again?
September 13th. We will have parking validations for 2 hours. We are also hosting an advertising fundraiser for the SOAR program booklet. Several of the clubs have purchased business card size ads for $100. We also have some larger ads available, a full page for $1,000, half page for $500, and a quarter page for $250. If you are interested in advertising in our booklet, we anticipate we'll have around 200 first responders and Rotarians at the event. So please let me know. Also, we're having a high tea. So that's exciting. The high tea is September 4th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Las Vegas National Golf Club near Desert Inn and Eastern. The tickets are $40 and includes a variety of tea, snacks, and a $12 donation to SOAR. Our goal is 25 tickets sold. Right now we're at 6. So please tell your spouses and your friends. We're going to wear hats and we're going to play a trivia game about Old Vegas, and there will be a raffle, so bring cash. You can find tickets on eventbrite.com by searching Rotary SOAR, and then the high tea will pop up. Okay, finally, I do want to let everyone know that I am the current editor for the district newsletter, The Highlighter. If you would like to submit an article, I think you probably go through the public image chair, but please get it to that. Who is that?
That's Kirk Holmes.
Kirk Holmes. Okay. Well, yeah, just reach out to Kirk Holmes and he can forward it to me, but I need it by the 1st of the month. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Great.
Is that all?
Okay. We have Jim Cole. You can take a moment, talk about fishing trip.
President Mike and fellow Rotarians, we're going to go fishing in San Diego on August 19th, which happens to be the day after my birthday. Coincidence.
Strange presidents.
If you are interested in going tuna fishing with us, just drop me a note and I'll pass along the information to anybody who wants to go.
Great, thank you.
And Jim likes bourbon.
Okay. One important announcement, we're putting together our Rotary roster. This week, Sean has sent out 3 announcements inviting you to make corrections to the Rotary roster. Today, or this week is the last time. So take a look at one of her 3 emails or here too, and make changes and update your picture. Those of us that haven't changed it in the last 20 years. And there's a few of us that I'm looking at, but okay. But we need to get those in by tomorrow, if at all possible. So with that, I think we have one last announcement for the 25 Club from Susan Ziobro.
Thank you, President.
And then we're going to have the wrap.
Excuse me. Thank you, President Mike. Fellow Rotarians, tonight we have our monthly 25 Club event, and we have about 17 people signed up for it, and it's going to be a lot of fun tonight at Becca's Restaurant, and our host is Eris Lazarou. He supplied the lovely space, and we'll do this again, same place, same first Thursday of the month, the following month, right, Eris? Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
And I'll be sending out an email to those who RSVP'd that there's going to be a gate code. So look for that RSVP email. Thank you.
Great. So our pot today is $751 plus whatever people bought in tickets today. So the winner of the pot, if you pull the joker, will get half of that, which will probably be a little more than $400. So with that, our winning, with the right to choose out of the deck, we have number 236-9842. 236-9842. Is that Brock Frazier standing up? Okay. I think I need to validate his. What do you think? Just kidding. Okay. Great. With that. Okay. Take the jokers out real fast. Okay, got it. No, Brock's got a lucky streak in him. Pick a card, any card. Okay, we're going to turn it the other way. Pick a card, any card. He likes that one right there. And we have a 5 of hearts. Rip it up. Yeah. Give me my 10 bucks. Okay, $10. I don't have the $10. Sean has it. Okay, for those of you that are new here or visiting, we tear up the cards so the odds get better every week, and you'll see the pot grow exponentially as we get fewer and fewer cards. Now for the 2 gift cards, Sean has those as well. The last 4 digits are 9871. 9871. Susan Ziobro, whoa! Great. Birthday girl. Out of the light. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some extra time for fellowship. With that, our meeting's adjourned. why don't we she's one of the two heads of our Rotary Club. Hey, Tina or Tony. I forgot your first name. Mike. Hi. You talked about an opportunity for an induction with our district governor. Did he talk to you about that?
No, but Richard Joseph told me about it, so I haven't had a chance to go through that.
So she's in charge. I'll let you continue working out with her because I'm not going to step on her toes.
Okay. Yeah. We have set up a date for 14th, the day after tour, in the evening. We're going to do a social, and we haven't picked the location. Yesterday we just got the model. So we'd like to invite you. We're going to induct 8 members at that time. So if you have members that haven't been inducted officially, we'd like you to join us.
Okay.
And have Becky do that as well. I think it'll be neat. I know when we've done that before with the previous district governors, the members just go up in the members.
Well, and I'm from California, and my husband he already went all the way through on district leadership and everything. So I've been through it all. They had never done that here while I was aware. So the last DG, when we had our DG visit, we had 3 members that were inducted, and that hadn't been. So I know how special that is.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can do with all of that. So, but you're not sure of the date, or you have the date?
We have the date.
So it is the 14th.
The 14th at 5:30 to 7.
Okay.
We don't have a location yet.
Okay. And so what may happen is we know right now that we have one gentleman who will circulate starting board meeting this month, which we put him for induction in September. So that very well may work out perfectly.
Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay, Tony, let me get your phone number.
Sure. My cell phone number is area code 213-509-3082. And on one of the conferences or Zoom things, you and I had sort of texted with one another because I saw your official background. Aren't you a lawyer?
No.
Are you okay? You weren't a lawyer.
I wasn't a lawyer, but I did flee California 4 years ago.
There you go. And my last name is Curry.
Okay.
So thank you, Michael.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
We were just coming over to plot how to do this together, but it sounds like you're all.
Well, actually, hi. And so we've got it together. Tina Bishop is co-chair.
Okay.
So we will get all that worked out. And thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, it would be great.
I think it will be really nice to be special.
Yeah.
So that's, but we have one
Right.
normally we do them right after.
That's what we usually do.
Like a collecting up, yeah. And it's pretty cool. I mean, when we do it, we do it under you. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing because it's something very special.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're very welcome. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
I take advantage of Becky being here because I don't keep coming in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally get it. Well, thank you.
And then, on Valentine's Day, if we can do a joint food bank thing, which Betsy wants to do on Valentine's Day, we'll give her all the photo ops.
Okay. So let me know when you start getting there later, and I'll put you in touch with the people who run my committee.
And I think Glenn is from your club is already working on that.
Yeah, Glenn from our club, yeah.
And then that's the more you said. Okay. Look, we got it. We got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry it was such a brief meeting.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
My previous club used to do this. I know.
Yeah, it's, I think a lot of things got interrupted on the pandemic and people discovered that there were easier ways to do things. Hard to get people to go back to the old ways, the new way is easier.
Yeah.
That and,
I'm glad we did things.
well, I mean, we still had,
Are you still doing?
yeah, we still had the,
You do a hunting?
Right. Ten people up there on Zoom. So we do that, and we live stream on Facebook. Of course, those people can interact with it. Right. And last year I tried to keep my head on a swivel so that I could look behind me and see who was on my Zoom, so that they could actually interact with people here at the meeting. It's very challenging, but you got to do something to keep it from there.
Well, we just found it was just logistically difficult to do it.
Very, very.
And, but now that we're back, live meeting, that's what people like.
Oh, yeah.
I think the number of people that were sitting in the room is not too bad. Even our, I guess you call it older members, are still coming back.
I thought two of the people who are on the Zoom today are people who are going through chemotherapy. And I can understand why they would not want to be in the room with people. So for people like that, I think it's a pain in the neck to do the hybrid meetings, but how else are you going to give them that freedom?
We were thinking of cable companies. Again,
right. I mean, none of us signed up to be television producers.
Right.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, the issue is I'm one of the few members of the club who knows how to do this. This is the president. You can't.
Right.
So you can't do that. So unfortunately,
I hope you don't mind me referring to you as a refugee.
that's okay. No, I'll tell you, we were so. I'll tell you, that was all the stuff that's gone on since we've been here for years. We were so happy that we fled when we fled. And the other thing that we have a three-bedroom school. We realize that today we will be fine. And what we're paying for right now, it would probably be at least a 200 million. And we would have two bedrooms. But when we moved into a complex around, we called it mom in November. And then in December, we finally moved. That unit had been vacant on the first and it was vacant until we moved in February. And just above it, a family about 2 or 3 weeks ago moved out. It was no more than a week later, we sent it. Wow. So,
The market.
the market. So, yeah.
I remember when it was not that long ago. I was out walking the dog early in the morning, and it was a guy that there was a for sale sign on the front lawn, and then a sold thing across it. And he and his wife were going at it with each other. And as we got closer, what he was complaining about was they didn't ask him. Because the house sold in one day. So to him, that meant we should have asked for a lot more. Well, maybe, but
I mean, you talk about, I've got some of our real estate agents and sometimes the whole group doesn't even know enough. They tell friends or somebody, and the friend will say, hey, I'm going to try it. As soon as they hit the system, MLS,
good time to be a seller.
yeah, I guess a good time will accept it.